Alright, back to this. Hopefully there's not much delay. I haven't uploaded the first part, however, there's a reason why. I figured out the problem too, at least regarding the previous Civilization series, where practically all my videos were incomplete, and because basically, I edit the audio and video together and export that, but it was always cutting off like a decent chunk. And what I figured out was that I can edit a piece of video and audio together. However, for some reason, it just stopped editing multiple videos and multiple pieces of audio together. So basically, each part is however long I record, which is generally 30 minutes. So I can edit the 30-minute piece of video and audio together, but I can't edit, let's say, 2 or 3 30-minute pieces of video or audio together, and because that's where it fails to, for whatever reason, export the last 2 or 1. Basically, anything more than a single video and audio clip, it fails to export. So actually, I can kind of show this here. So I actually have 2 parts, but they're each 30 minutes long, so I haven't uploaded either of them. But I guess that's sort of the solution to the problem. I'll just have to do that from now on, so I guess the main thing is that this may put me even more behind in uploading, but theoretically it should upload quicker since it's half, so I mean it should even out, but there may be an issue with that, but I'll see what to do regarding that, because I'm playing Outcast on a different device. I actually haven't uploaded that either. I tried to play it on here, but it just wasn't working, so that shouldn't be a problem. But so if I can get those videos up quickly enough, I may try and transfer some from here to there. But I tried that prior to, and it didn't work, so doubt it. But that was also an hour and 30-minute video, so if it's just a 30-minute video I'm transferring, then maybe. But I guess that's kind of irrelevant. But anyway, so yeah, the reason I brought up Outcast was because I'm playing this mod pretty much at the same exact time as Outcast, like I'm about an hour through each of them. And obviously they're both Yuri-centered mods. I mean, this mod literally mentioned Outcast. That's partially why I brought it back up again. But yeah, I mean, the best way I can put it is this mod, Fallen Angel and Outcast, they're very similar to sort of Exit Music and Summer Hope, where they're both Natsuki mods. However, they take a different approach. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the previous video, but I may have mentioned this I think I talked about in the Outcast video, but obviously I didn't talk about here because I haven't played it yet. But this mod takes a very Exit Music type approach, and Outcast takes a very Summer Hope type approach. The best way I could describe it was this mod's a lot more comedic and lighthearted, as we've seen, where Outcast is more serious and like down to earth. So it's more so, I mean, personally I just prefer Outcast based on the way this mod's like, every other line's like a meme, and partially because of the way they're portraying Monica, but that's just me personally. But again, that's kind of the best way for me to compare two mods. It's not like it's bad or anything, like, it's not like I'm playing through this and I'm like, oh, I don't like it, like sometimes I felt with Relapse, but that's just something to take into consideration. It's the best way I can put it, sort of, regarding the two, because they are very similar, and there is a comparison. Also, I mentioned this in the Outcast video, and this is the last thing I need to mention before I get into it. Apparently there's a secret ending for New Eyes that I never knew of, and basically it requires, because you can make choices in that game, and it requires a very specific sequence of choices that I wouldn't have even thought of when playing it. However, it basically it pretty much takes the entirety of Act 1. So what I'm thinking is, depending on whether I finish this mod or Outcast first, and it's looking like Outcast, because that mod is extremely streamlined regarding the days, which is a good or bad thing depending on how you look at it, but that just means it'll likely finish quicker. I'll probably replay through the entire Act 1 of New Eyes. I was thinking I could potentially skip it, but I don't even think that's a possibility, because I need to re-download it, and I don't think I can skip it if it's like a fresh copy, as opposed to when I've recently played. So basically, I'll end up replaying through the whole Act 1 of New Eyes, doing whatever choices I need to do to get the potential secret ending. So yeah, I mean, regarding that, it'll be pretty interesting, because this is obviously a Yuri mod, Outcast is a Yuri mod, but New Eyes is literally through the eyes of Yuri, so that'll be pretty interesting regarding that. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I needed to say. So Again, yeah, it's gonna be like 30-minute segments or whatnot. So, but because I'm recording them two at a time, I won't have a lot to say for the next one. I'll have a lot to say generally every other segment. So, yeah, Lauren back here. This is why I mean like why this mod's comedic and takes itself like really lightheartedly. Because here's the thing, the issue with a lighthearted and comedic mod that deals with sort of the topics that, like, I guess it touches on, I have to admit, Relapse did a pretty good job on this, where basically, whenever it got serious, you know, the MC kind of shut up and, like, took it seriously. But there could be some issues regarding sort of that. If it's, like, a serious topic, but the MC still lighthearted comedic self, that could lead to some problems. And, I mean, it wouldn't be entirely out of the picture, say, that may or may not happen. Right? I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. So, oh yeah, also, okay, so yeah, because, I get it. So we're back to sharing the poems, because actually, spoiler for Outcast, they just streamlined the whole poem process. Like, not only do you not write, but you also don't even share, so. Something easy to digest, I suppose, and she's talking about her poem. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Hoo. Actually, story isn't about ghosts at all. Really? Oh yeah, and I forgot it uses our name, because we still have all the old saves. Somehow it's connected. I think that's pretty interesting. Must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. You read it once through. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in our last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. It's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. It's really impressive. Huh? It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive too, so, I mean, yeah, because like I said, and I don't want to spoil Outcast too much, but basically, in this mod, MC just falls head over heels for Yuri after seeing her for the first time. In Outcast, there's actually, you know, a reason why he pays particular attention to Yuri. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it, but that's why the MC wrote his poem for her today in this way. If anything, I'd probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you. Me too. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. And then, this... Okay, so we just go through everyone else then like that, I presume. I guess that's everyone. Okay, so they're really focusing on Yuri now. So Yuri showed me her poem, Dear Sunshine, because I don't remember what their poems are, really. And I guess because, what is it? With Outcast, I guess, you know, I really should stop, like, unless, no, I'll just do it anyway. So yeah, with Outcast, it's more so, like, it's definitely more focused on other characters within the mod as well, from what we've seen, from the little I've seen so far of it, but this, not necessarily the case. I mean, it's clear that based on, you know, skipping the rest of them, it's like, okay, we know who the mod maker is really trying to focus on. I could tell she wrote it this morning, but when I asked her, she avoided the question. But next, Natsuki showed me her poem called Eagles Can Fly. It was short and simple, but the message on how you can try but never really be good was very well thought out. Lastly, Monica and I shared our poems. Her poem was titled Hole in the Wall. It was pretty abstract and I didn't really understand it. Okay, Monica said it had something to do with an epiphany of hers, but she didn't go into much detail. Nevertheless, I thought it was a good poem. This actually isn't too bad, but I mean, again, sort of the issue with that is like, oh, so this is going to be a entirely Yuri-focused mod. It's not going to be like, oh, we may have a subplot regarding, well, but then again, that's not necessarily that good. I don't know, but basically, everyone's getting sidelined for Yuri. I glanced around the room. It was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs, because you wrote it for Yuri. I mean, this is a literature club after all. I sighed. I guess that's why I ended up getting myself into. It is. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. One thing I do love is how the screen just, like, pans. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. Okay, so we're really going through this. I want to see how the MC reacts, because if he's just going to automatically side with Yuri as opposed... I guess, if he sides with... Well, for whatever reason, I remember a mod where their Act 1 conversation is closer to Act 2, but I don't remember what it is. I don't remember which one. Could be this, doubt it, but... Yeah, we'll just see what they have to say. So, as they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I mean, when you write it like a I don't know where I was going with that. When you write like a second grader, like second grade language, I know that. I just meant a language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out as nice at all. Well, if I could give a few small critiques. Well, what, is it not edgy enough for your taste here? Okay, it may actually be this mod then, because I remember one of the mods, the Act 1 sort of argument was replaced with like Act 2 dialogue, and I don't remember which one it is, but this is making me think it's this one. What is that supposed to mean? If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. And I'm not even gonna like inquire whether that means Natsuki knows about Yuri's issues, but which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Raven did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which yours definitely wasn't. And Raven liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Okay, we need to. I'm legitimately curious whether this is actually the mod, or like whether this is the one that I think takes the Act 2 like argument and puts in Act 1. And you realize you're so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that he appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice? Literally not. Well, first off, we don't even know what Natsuki said about ours. Second off, we didn't even really get much advice from Yuri, because she just straight up said like, yeah, this is good, and she needed to come up with an excuse why she knew we were first-time writers. So none of this, without seeing sort of their respective scenes where we exchange poems, it doesn't really make any sense. But I mean, we already know this going into the mod, so it doesn't really matter. I know, if I was fooling myself, I'll deliberately go out of my way and make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Yeah. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew 2 sizes bigger as soon as rain started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little. This doesn't involve you. This is just. I don't remember how because obviously you know how the Act 2 argument goes. The original Act 1 argument, I'm not sure how much altered, or how, obviously the edgy part was altered, but I'm pretty sure other parts of it were altered as well. But I mean, because I think Sayori and Monika is still trying to interfere, that's the same. But everything else I don't really know. So, I don't like fighting guys. I never do something so shameful. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Raven, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. She could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing's more effective than this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? You mean should jump out through it, not force them to have to figure it out. Let me explain that to her. Wait, there's a reason why we use so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right? Well, yeah, honestly, I have no clue what route he's going to take. We may not even get a choice in this. How did I get dragged into this in the first place? You were standing in the relative vicinity. It's not like I know anything about writing. Am I really the best person to ever be in this conversation? No. Okay, alright, so this is interesting. So we get... Okay, also, this is how we know, this is completely different, because the text box here is still pink. Well, the save box here is purple. So, we knew that before, but that's just a difference, I guess, that we can use to tell. Obviously, besides the date, even if the dates weren't there, is what I'm trying to say. But, I mean, this is interesting. So, we have a choice, because here's the thing. Okay, yeah, so, this is actually interesting. This is interesting, because this is the exact same save as this. Or it's the exact, we got the exact same choice. And then also, we also had the, this is also the same. It was the same as this, where we only really had the choice to, I guess, what is it? Read with Yuri or exchange poems with her. So I think that's actually pretty cool. Like this, so we can kind of see which parts of the demo were kept and kind of which parts regarding whatever choices we get weren't. So, I mean, I think I'm gonna go with this is stupid. The MC's just gonna say something stupid if I click this. Obviously, I have to click this. What's likely going to happen is he's going to side with Yuri. I mean, I don't really know, what exactly he'll say, but I mean, given that this is a Yuri-focused, Yuri-centered mod, or he could just cop out and say both of them are wrong. Granted, he tries to say that, but at least in the original game, he tries to do like a cop-out answer, but he ultimately ends up siding with one of them, so he may do an actual sort of cop-out answer, but we'll see. Yeah, I think we gotta click this just because. I think you both are very talented and have very unique writing styles. Okay, so yeah, she's actually bullshit. I sink back into my seat. I really need to start preparing myself for difficult questions these girls might ask. I mean, that's completely her problem. Like, excuse me, Natsuki, but I don't think you have any right to talk to Raven like that. You know what I think, Yuri? I think that when I first met you, I was excited to meet someone who I thought would share the same interests as me. But now I see, you're just some stuck-up bitch. Okay, so yeah, this is what I was thinking. Because I remember deliberately, one of the mods I played, the Act 1 argument between these two was not exactly the same as the Act 2 argument, but a lot more intense. So this is what this is. So it's no wonder you have no friends. Yeah, it's like, I'm gonna head out. Yuri runs out of the classroom, wiping her eyes with her sleeve. I stare deeply at Natsuki. I see regret in her eyes. I should go apologize. Before I can process what just happened, Natsuki's already out of the classroom. And then, I guess I can sort of look at the saves and almost see, okay, I don't know what this save is. I don't know what this save is. This was the save I ended on. So, don't know what this save is. These two, fairly obvious, so I guess we'll see. I turn to Monica. Are you gonna do something? Should I? You're Miss President, aren't you? I mean, this is really a them problem, because, like, I don't know what the MC is expecting Monica to do, I mean. Because this isn't, like, a problem within the club. This is just a problem between them as people. So, there's nothing she can really do about it. You should go help resolve the situation. I think they'll be fine. She walks off. What the hell? How's the club president not going... Honestly, I think that's the MC's being retarded here. Like, this is... First off, they both stormed out of the room. So, clearly this is sort of... Well, first Yuri stormed out of the room, and then Natsuki was storming after her. It was clearly with, like he said, the intent to apologize. So, I mean, that's a positive from her, at least. If Natsuki wasn't doing that and still being stuck up, then that would make sense why Monica would confront her about that. However, I mean, she's like a club president. This is a problem between them as, like, people, like I said, or as persons. Granted, obviously, she's just saying it to, like, you know, because she wants to fan the fire or whatnot, but I mean... that was really just a stupid question on part of the MC. If he's going to think, like, the entire club's going to converge on them when they're trying to reconvene or whatnot, like, I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't think Yuri wants to see Natsuki right now, so maybe it's best if I intervene. That's a stupid... Natsuki's literally going to go apologize. He's literally, like, trying to deny her that. He's like, oh, no, you don't make up with Yuri. I'll, like, do it. Like, just typical MC-type rationale. Rape. I stopped cold in my tracks when Monica's son shifted in tone. You should stay here. You just need some time to herself to calm down. Italics imply she knows, and we know what this is about. There's something ominous about the way Monica said that, but maybe she's right. Yuri will come back when she's ready. Okay, I'm not sure whether that's the Monica's influence or the MC just not knowing what to do. Okay, so we're waiting. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? Did they come back or what? Is it just us three? It was a lot of fun. Okay, so everyone's back. Alright, good. I was like, it was alright. Raven, how about you? Well, I guess it was okay. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. Think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. Okay, so we're all just going to ignore what previously happened then. With anything like that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I dawned to myself with a newfound determination. Right, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Okay, Sayori, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. I mean, the MC, I'm pretty sure he already knows the answer. He can assume at least. If it was a thing that happened often, then, like, they just wouldn't be there together at least, or, like, in the club at all. If just sort of their, I guess, presence, like, ignites the other. It's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? I think to myself, I shouldn't judge you based off only just 2 days. That's what I've been saying. I mean, no, I don't hate them. I just want your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. You know, Raymond, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. I think everyone really likes you too. And that's, every day is going to be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still has a contact kind of situation that I'm in. Also, this is kind of, given what we know about her, this line, that's actually a pretty bad sign. I mean, I guess clearly, given what we've seen with this, I mean, clearly we ultimately, mainly this, we're still going to have to deal with Sayori's, issues. Because in Outcast, from what I've played so far, it made it seem as though her issues were just straight up non-existent. In the sense that, like, oh, she doesn't show any signs of, like, or cues that may be potentially taken in the wrong way, like this, given what we know about her. So, Outcast, her issues may just be non-existent, but also, I know given this old save, I know we're clearly going to end up having to deal with her issues, so being friends with everyone's nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than her. It's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, lag. Let's do this. Time to write another poem. Yuri seemed to like the last one I wrote. She seems to be fond of using symbolic meaning in her poems. Maybe I can do something like that again to impress her. Okay, because we actually saw his poem and it was actually a poem, so. Dream? Okay, we're just straight up back here. Okay. So, like, just one day passes. Well, I'm back in the club. When I look around, everything seems to be going normally. Yuri's reading a book and Natsuki disappeared into the closet. Okay. Hey, Yuri. I suddenly noticed that Yuri's reading a different book from the one we've been reading together. I turned my head to read the cover. Portrait of Markov? Okay, so yeah, that's the actual book she has. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No. I was kind of just waiting for you. If that's the case, why don't we go ahead and get started? Because, she described the other book, like, she used the Act 2 description of Portrait of Markov for whatever book we're reading, regarding, like, human experimentation or whatnot. Let's actually have a request. You mind if I make some tea first? It sounds great, Yuri. Thanks. If there's one thing that can make my reading time here any better, it's a nice cup of tea. Not to mention for yourself as well. Yuri stands up and makes her way to the closet. I follow and watch as she retrieves a small wire pitcher from the shelf, with the kind with a filter inside. Can you hold this for a second? Sure. Yuri hands me the water pitcher and also fetches an electric kettle. Oh yeah, because we have to go actually get the... This is actually interesting. I think I may know what happens, but I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, because we'll ultimately have to get water from the pitcher. I'm going to plug this in at the teacher's desk, and then we'll go get some water. She walks past me and sets the kettle down on the desk. Simply watch her movements. To my surprise, the way she moves really contrasts her speaking mannerisms, especially because of her long legs. Yuri appears elegant and methodical. Okay, may I have the water pitcher? She's like, walks like a robot. And Yuri back the water pitcher. Thanks, I'll be right back. I might as well walk with you, rather than just standing here. Yeah, why not? Shall we go then? Okay, this is different. I thought, because what I was thinking, this clearly doesn't seem to be what's going to happen, but what I was thinking was, oh yeah, Yuri gets water, she takes a while, we go out and we see her kind, but I don't exactly, that may have been because we definitely catch Yuri kind in Fallen Angel. That happened in the demo. But I was thinking, maybe that's specifically what I just mentioned is what happens in Rain Clouds' New Eyes, as opposed to this mod. This mod may be something completely different. Where are you two off to? She just teleports in the hall, gain water. Yuri and I, we're gonna get some... I suddenly realized how weird it sounds like explaining this to Maka. Just say we're literally getting water for the kettle. Like, what do you mean? Yuri and I were gonna fill the water pitcher, Maka. Okay. Sorry, I was just a bit curious. Like, how is this weird? I don't get what he's saying by that. Like, you're literally just getting water. It's kind of a one-person job, isn't it? No, you need one person to hold the button for the water fountain. One person to hold the water pitcher. Like, would you kindly remove your nose from other people's affairs? Because this doesn't happen in the actual game. I mean, But, well, this may happen in the Act 2 of the actual game, but I mean, because clearly the dialogue has been intensified, because obviously Natsuki doesn't say, "Edge your bitch" in the original Act 1, so I think this is also, it's also taken that direction too. Or do you want to tell me there's something wrong with helping involving Raven in club activities? Helping involve. Are you upset because I'm doing more to involve a new member of the club than you are? Huh? It's like my mouth gapes. I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. Now let's go. Yuri quietly exits the room. She's like, that was a mistake. That's interesting though, because for whatever reason I remember a dialogue along these lines, and I'm pretty sure Yuri's like, why the hell did I say that? Like, why did I do that? That was a mistake. I look around the room. I see Sayori dig her face deeper in a book. Why are we still on this screen? Shouldn't we be leaving with Yuri? Over in the corner, Natsuki sees back into a closet. Look at Monica scares me. What do you mean? Like, this is probably the most normal look that she's had. Like, what is he talking about? I don't know. This mod's weird. They portray everyone weird in this mod. I quickly follow Yuri out into the corridor. I guess because this is clearly a Yuri mod. So basically what it seems is they've taken the route of, okay, they sideline everyone else and portray them in like the worst way possible, so that the MC can get with Yuri and whatnot. Once in the hallway, she suddenly puts her forehead against the wall. I spoke without thinking. How could I say something like that? Yuri, something about the way she said that. This is the second time this game, because given we know what happened, well, we didn't see Yuri and Natsuki reconvene yesterday, but we do know that happened. Made me feel so irritated. What's wrong with me? Why do I have to make myself so unlikable? No, Yuri. I think you did the right thing. Okay. I wasn't expecting it, but the MC, he's really trying. It's also not right for Monica to judge people like that, because I'm pretty sure this doesn't happen in the actual Act 1 of the game, right? How come even when I do something bad? Okay, hold on. Because, what is it? What does she say? I'm pretty sure she says something like, what's it to you, in the original Act 1, but it's not along these lines. It's slightly more toned down. Because nothing that you do is as bad as you make it seem in your head. Nobody's perfect. We all have emotions and can't hide them away. But you also amplify things in your head. Your mind turns a light rain shower into a hurricane. No. When you hate me for something as terrible as that, why would I hate you? Can't hate someone for having emotions. What kind of friend would do that? Friend, you say. Yuri lifts her head. Raven, I really like being friends with you. Haha, thanks, Yuri. I just get... Dude, shut up. Like, it's literally been 2 days. Not, cause like, count the amount of time in each day. It's literally been like an hour and a half. But yeah, it's really seeming like they're really sidelining the other characters and portraying them in the worst way possible so that MC can get with Yuri. Because like clearly they portray Monica as kind of like, okay, her Act 2 version where she's deliberately like intervening or whatnot. They portray Natsuki as clearly sort of, they also portray not her Act 2 version, but they portray her sort of at her worst given her persona, and then they just portray Sayori as like normal, but she's already sidelined anyway in the game, so that's just inherent part of her character. So I just like being friends with you too. I feel kind of awkward saying something like that. I'm doing my best to help Yuri feel better. Anyways, yeah. Shall we go? Yeah. Okay, it's this place, because this is where she gets caught, at least in Rain Clouds and New Eyes. So we arrive at the water fountain. Yuri begins to fill up the pitcher. Wait, hold on. Doesn't the pitcher break? Like, I'm pretty sure that happens, because I remember that with this specific background. You think Monica's mad at me, or I think back to Monica's blank expression. I don't think Monica's the type of person who get upset over something like that. I should apologize to her, right? I think so. Just tell her how you feel. It wasn't right for her to intrude on us. You're right. I think I'm just not very good at displaying my emotions. I don't really get to experience social interaction as much as other people. And when I do, I usually end up embarrassing myself. I unintentionally give her a look of pity. Try to come up with something to say. Yuri, I'm pretty sure the jug actually breaks, like, straight up. She looks at me with upturned eyes. Like I'm some sort of painting she's appreciating in a museum. Don't get ahead of yourself. Think you have enough water. Hold on. Huh? Yuri looks down at the pitcher. The water's completely overflowing and spilling all over. And then Yuri quickly lets go of the button. I'm sorry. Wasn't paying attention. Yuri, it's fine. It is? Yeah, I'm waiting to see if it actually breaks. I'm sorry I distracted you. Then okay. Yuri dumps out the excess water. I need to do something here. Yuri's clearly still on edge. Yuri, look at me. Huh? It's going to be fine. You didn't do anything wrong. Wasn't focusing on the water. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna transition here, so don't need to do that. But yeah, the next video will actually be its own parts, so at least in regards to uploading. So yeah. Oh,